What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Disciple Plays. I got another video for you today. Today is just a general kind of market overlook, and as well as a warning to not miss a potential big time play in the market right now. It seems obvious and it should be obvious, but we'll get into it and I'll break it down as to why it's such a good play right now. But first, we got the first partner, Illustration Collection Series 1. I actually believed that these would start out about this high, you know, and be around $50, and then eventually I believed it would dip and fall to like maybe a $20 to $30 box, but it's still holding strong around the $50 mark, in large part because the Kanto starters are all like $25+ cards. So this is holding strong, and if you pull the Kanto starters, just assume they're all $25, but they're actually more expensive than that. But that's $75 in cards just from opening a pack that you know you have a 1 out of 3 chance of getting those cards. So this thing is actually staying pretty strong right now. I still think long term it's going to depend on whether or not the cards are tough to grade if they stay super high, but for now they're holding strong. I would actually probably still hold off on buying this as a sealed box. If you can get it for around $30, maybe I'd think about it, but for 52, I think there's much better things you can be doing with your money at the moment. Next, let's just talk about Perfect Order. This set is kind of a nightmare from an investment standpoint, but it's a great set from the standpoint of wanting to rip packs, because the packs for this are all over the place. I just went into a store yesterday purely to buy groceries, and I just swung by the Pokemon aisle to look what they had, and Perfect Order sleeved packs, there's like 200 of them just sitting on the shelves. Could you imagine if there were sleeved like Destined Rivals packs, like 200 of them just sitting there? Not gonna happen. The ETBs, the Pokemon Center ones, are sitting at $130 right now. For reference, Ascended Heroes regular ETBs are almost this same price, and these are the Pokemon Center version, and they're sitting at $130. The regular ETBs are at $75.98 market, and I just wanted to point out that if you did want to invest in Perfect Order, which I think there's other plays to do right now, and it's not the smartest place to put your money, but as we know with Pokemon, eventually this is going to be like a $300 booster box or Elite Trainer box. That's just the way Pokemon goes. It's just a matter of time, how long it takes. Other things will get there faster. This one will take a little bit longer. The ETB cases right now have barely any premium on them. And by that, I mean, typically an ETB case of regular ETBs is 10 in one of these sealed boxes. And right now, $75.98, the sealed cases are going for just over $800. These are Pokemon Center ones. Here's one for $749.99. Buy it now. So this is actually under current market for a sealed case. So if you were going to get into Perfect Order, I would recommend getting sealed cases of ETBs, because there's currently no case premium on them. I actually didn't check on booster boxes. Oh, well, you can see booster box case $11.55. So there is a bit of it. That's like 7 point something booster boxes at MSRP. So that's actually also not bad at all for a case of booster boxes. But again, I would avoid this set from an investing standpoint. There's just better things to put your money in right now. Some of the cards are okay. I think the Mega Starmie is kind of cool. The Clefairy obviously is cool. If this card is hard to grade, look for that to jump off. Go crazy. But this set, I mean, you can master set this thing for probably $300 in the next like month. So that's good for collectors. We'd love to see that. Let's look at Ascended Heroes. So this is what I was talking about. The PC Perfect Order ETBs are 130. Regular Ascended Heroes ETBs are at 127. That is an insane number to think about. And if we look at the price charting, I mean, they were $180 before they came out. These things released, I believe, February 30th is when the ETBs actually came out. And you can see here, about there is where the release was. So 112, it went down, got down to like 108, but immediately jumped back up to 127. And this is the play I was talking about at the start of the video. And I'm going to show you why that this is such a big deal. This ETB is doing things that no other ETB other than maybe Prismatic, if you want to throw that out there. We'll take a look at that price chart later, but this ETB is skyrocketing in price way faster than other big time sets. And I'm going to show you Destined Rivals right now sitting at 222.88. Crazy expensive ETB. I mean, these things, it's less than a year old and that's what it's at. So this thing came out and you can see it had a big dip. Comes out right here, boom, drops down to $88.90. You could have got it at $88 to $90 for a while, like 2 months, and then supply dries up, starts slowly climbing, can't find it anymore in stores, and then boom, $224 ETB. So as you can see, this had at release, there's June 9th. It took until September for it to really start picking up. So June, July, August, September. That is 4 months it took for this ETB to start finally having a big jump. Ascended Heroes, less than a month after it released, February 30th, is already up to 127. It never saw the like $80 to $90 range that Destined Rivals saw. Destined Rivals is sitting at $228 a box right now. Also, the singles from Ascended Heroes are doing things that we've never seen cards do before. They are going up, at least the top chases. The Dragonite, the Pikachu, and the Mega Gengar are all going up in price after release. Just absolutely insane that this... Let's look at the Gengar. It is still going up. Typically, you'll see a price way up here at pre-release, and then it crashes down and stays there for a while. And again, we'll look at a couple cards here in a minute. But these are all just continuing to grow in price. Huge spike for the Pikachu. It's just absolutely crazy. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hey, what about Prismatic? Did it do this same exact thing? Well, let's take a look. This is the Prismatic Umbreon. Its entire lifespan of being released in January 2025 came out at $1,700 ungraded, and it had a gradual decline, right? So 1,700, its low was around 841 ish about 6 months after release, and then it starts climbing a little bit. 1,100, dips again down to the 900s, and now it's back up to 1,250. It's still nowhere near its release price of $1,712, and this is supposed to be like the big card of the entire era, and it's still $500 under what it was when it released. If you look at these again, these are more expensive than when they released. That's never happened before in the history of this hobby, at least in the modern history of it. Even with Prismatic, like I just showed, if it was similar to this, it would have been 1,700 and then like 2,000 and then drop maybe a little bit after that, but it's not. Let's look at 151 ETBs. This is the price chart of 151 ETBs. They're up at almost $600 now, and you can see when they came out, you could get them for $30 at $39, December 2023. And then supply runs out, they slowly start climbing. This is where the hobby started getting like really popular again, and then just skyrocketed up to $600. Again, this Ascended Heroes ETB starting to see this such a drastic climb compared to all of the other ETBs in the hobby. This is something that has not happened before, and this is a big alarm bell saying, hey, don't miss out on this opportunity on getting Ascended Heroes. When you've got the top chase cards only going up in price as product runs out on shelves, I mean, it's a no-brainer that you should be jumping into this. One thing to keep on a lookout for is the Ascended Heroes booster bundles. They will be coming out next month. And right now they're sitting at 115 pre-sale market value. But if you can grab a bunch of Ascended Heroes booster bundles at like $50 when they release, which is over MSRP, which everybody hates to pay, but just given what the Elite Trainer boxes are doing, and to be fair, booster bundles do typically get printed a little bit more because they're easier for Pokemon to print. So the prices usually aren't as crazy. Like Destined Rivals booster bundles are not nearly as crazy as the ETBs. The ETBs they stopped printing a whole lot of. Ascended Heroes though, like they're printing Perfect Order now. They're going to be printing Chaos Rising. The vast majority of most sets print run is that first and second wave they've been doing. That is the vast majority of product coming out for these sets in those first waves. And this is done. Ascended Heroes is done. You might see a couple sparse restocks if you get lucky, but nowhere near the quantity that we've been having. Again, this isn't prismatic. They didn't outright come out and say, hey, we're going to print this into the absolute ground. And so, I mean, this set is going to become really scarce really fast, especially the ETBs. The booster bundles are going to come out, and I would not be surprised if we hardly get any Elite Trainer boxes of Ascended Heroes anymore. So do not miss this opportunity. These are still relatively affordable. Again, in 5 years, if this is a $600 box, you're not going to care that you paid $127 rather than paying $100. There will be a point where this is going to be a $200 box and it's going to be a bigger, harder pill to swallow than $127. And again, look out for these Ascended Heroes booster bundles. When they release, if they're hovering around $50, you should probably be jumping on them as quickly as you can. I know I'm going to be. That's my plan, is to switch to these booster bundles as soon as they come out, because it's getting harder and harder to find ETBs. That's all I really wanted to talk about today, guys. I just didn't want you to miss the opportunity of Ascended Heroes, and I wanted to show you that it's doing things that no other sets have done. Not even the most popular sets in the hobby, like Destined Rivals, Prismatic, and 151. So be on the lookout for it. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments section, if you agree, disagree, or if you've been stocking up on Ascended Heroes like I've been doing. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.